It is day 63, November 23rd. The night before this episode begins is the last night Michael spends with the others. That morning, they'll release him and give him the list of names. I'll talk more about this in the episode 3 minutes. However, I believe that they all trek with him from this area and then towards the barracks, getting to this valley over here. The others would leave the decoy village anyway. They likely leave in different factions, one including Walt, since Michael wasn't reunited with him until the finale. They all go here. This giant valley is where Michael would lead them in the season 2 finale. From here they probably told him to run straight south until he caught up with his group. Michael does so and runs away. Back to the episode.
I was raised to question piles of food with weird labels that just fall out of the sky, Rose.
Bernard is at the beach with his wife and they put Dharma food in the kitchen counters. He thinks that they've given up on getting rescued. Locke, Anna and Jack are in the hatch. Jack takes off the bandages of Henry's wound and says that they are going to the line, the one over here, and trade Henry for Walt. Locke is sitting at the computer, trying to recollect the blaster map. If you haven't seen it already, then check out my bonus episode about the blaster map. Jack talks to Ana Lucia. She is reading an atlas. I think it's a close-up of the Andes Mountains in South America. Just like many other impressive mountains in the world, the Andes Mountains are also quite sacred and central elements of a mythical historical identity. She's also sitting in front of a photograph of a rock formation from Joshua Tree National Park in California. It's not the only famous rock in this episode. In the flashbacks, we'll see that Rose and Bernard go to a faith healer living near Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock. It's such an amazing and unique rock formation. It is sacred and magical to Aboriginal people. And, as Hurley mentions in Season 4,
Australia's the key to the whole game.
Uluru is an Inselberg, meaning island mountain. It's a mountain that risen abruptly and is surrounded by extensive and relatively flat erosion lowlands in a hot, dry region. Ancestral spirits are believed to live within Uluru, and it also holds memories. Here in this episode we have a very fascinating scene with Isaac of Uluru, with a big foreshadowing about the island.
There are certain places with great energy, spots on the earth, like the one we're above now. Perhaps this energy is geological, magnetic. Or perhaps it's something else. And when possible, I harness this energy and give it to others.
A similar monologue was given by Aldous Hawking several seasons later.
The room we're standing in was constructed years ago over a unique pocket of electromagnetic energy. That energy connects to similar pockets all over the world. The people who built this room, however, were only interested in one.
The island.
Yes.
And here's a fun fact. Before season 5 aired, we were told a rumor that in the coming season we would see different Dharma stations off the island. This spoiler was kind of in the right direction with the lamppost station. However, this rumor included Portland, Tunisia and Australia. Back to the Swan.
I'm not so sure trading people's their thing.
Well, talking to him is getting us nowhere, so maybe we can get something for him.
You want me to come with you?
You need to stay here.
Jack leaves Anna in the hatch, while he goes to the beach to ask Saeed to join him for the mission to the line. This is off screen, however Jack mentions this to Kate later. Then he goes to Kate, and they all go into the jungle.
Can you get Libby and meet me on the edge of the tree line in 5 minutes? Oh, and if you can get Jen and Son, Jenkins, and that Frogurt guy, the guy who used to make frozen yogurt.
Neil?
Yeah, and Craig, and anybody else you can get.
Bernard is gathering a team to sketch a massive sign. I always smirk at the red shirts in the background, nodding in agreement. It's not that usual to have them so prominent. He likely told them where to meet and at what time. The next location we see them in is this one with the prominent mountain in the background. We've seen this beach before as the original crash site beach. Sometimes these locations serve as other places on the island. However, I'm gonna propose the idea that this is the original crash site beach over here. First of all, when Jin leaves, he walks this way in this direction, and Bernard mentions this.
Dude, we're likely gonna need a lot more rocks.
Yes, Hurley, we are gonna need a lot more rocks. There's a lava field about a half a mile inland. It's just loaded with them.
If you have seen my videos about season 1, then you know that there's a lot of lava fields in this direction, so it's fitting that the original crash site, where they first tried calling, setting up a signal fire, waiting and waiting and waiting for rescue, trying to send a distress signal, will now serve as the beach for the same purpose again. The SOS sign will be here. I know the distance is a bit far, and I was considering putting it over here, but that would not fit with the mountains and the shoreline, as well as the direction that characters walk. First, Bernard will walk aimlessly around the jungle, hauling rocks. Locke will spot him off screen, and then he'll go to this lava field and then back to this beach, while carrying even more rocks. Bernard already knows about this lava rock formation since he went there in episode 6. Jack and Kate trek up the valley and through the jungle towards the line. They get caught in Rousseau's trap.
Sorry.
More and more people leave Bernard's project. Even Frogert. Another survivor who leaves is this old helpful fella. I mentioned him in some of my season 1 videos. He was helping Michael on their trek to find Claire. He was helping setting up the operation tent when Jack needed to save Boone. He quickly ran to help Claire again in the season 1 finale when they heard her screams. And he's also one of the few people helping Bernard with the SOS sign. Definitely the hero the island deserves, but not it needs. Locke is here at the beach. He talks to Rose and then go back to the Swan station. Anna is there, covering for him.
Hey.
Hi.
Rose makes some supper and go to the beach over there. She talks to the husband and we get a beautiful montage at the end of the episode. Jack shows up at the line. There is a very prominent black rock behind him. Boy, there's a lot of rocks in this episode. Michael has been running through the jungle, likely with little food and water, and he comes running to them. Not an eventful episode this time, but we're ramping up now. There will be more treks and juicy stuff now that we are approaching the end of the season.